as the temperatures rise and the snow disappears, this is a great time for us to talk about our 2017 street construction program. During the last 7 seasons, the city has improved approximately 433 miles of streets in Sioux Falls. And in 2017, we plan to improve another 40 to 50 miles of local collector and arterial streets throughout the city. This year's Highway and Streets capital program is $37.9 million, which is approximately $2.6 million more than 2016. Joining me today to discuss our key projects is Brad Ludens, Josh Peterson, and Wes Phillips, who are principal engineers on the engineering team. This year's flagship project is the reconstruction of Louise Avenue between 41st Street and 49th Street. Bids were opened on January 26th, and depending on Mother Nature, work will get started here in the very near future. I will now turn it over to Brad and the team to provide more information on Louise Avenue and the other key projects we have for 2017. Brad?
Thank you, Chad. First project I want to talk about today is Louise Avenue from 41st Street to 49th Street. It's one of our major arterial streets in the critical commercial corridor on the southwest side of the city. The pavement condition is pretty poor out there. The street's come to the end of its useful life, and we need to reconstruct. And as we're looking at reconstruction, we're looking at some of the traffic issues we have out there. And just with all the commuting traffic turning into the mall and some of the other businesses out there, we decided that with this year's project, we're going to widen Louise Avenue from the current 5-lane section to 6 lanes with a center median out there with some left turn lanes at some select intersections to help alleviate some of the traffic congestion that we see out there on the weekends and during the holiday shopping season. That project will include the full reconstruction of the intersection of 49th and Louise with the project. And along with being a major traffic corridor, it's also a major utility corridor. There's just about any utility in town that you can imagine is along Louise, and particularly in the intersection of 49th and Louise. So unfortunately, through a part of the project, 49th Street will need to be closed on the west side of Louise from late May or early June until August while we do some of that critical utility reconstruction. Along with the widening of Louise Avenue, we're also going to be adding a widened bike path along 49th Street, doing some underground utility work, and then also including some adaptive traffic signals with the project. Like Chad mentioned, construction is slated to start soon. Weather permitting, you could see some temporary signals going up, some of the off-roadway work starting as early as next week if the weather holds, and then full construction will start in earnest sometime in mid-March, again, weather permitting. The full completion date for this project is mid-November, and the contractor, we are incentivizing early completion. The contractor can earn up to $280,000 for the early completion of this project. The next project I want to talk about is the intersection of 69th and Western in the southwest part of the city. This area of town is growing rapidly, and the traffic at this particular intersection is expected to triple in the next 25 years. So with that, we will be widening 69th Street to 4 lanes with a median from west of Western Avenue all the way to Minnesota Avenue, and also widening Western Avenue to 5 lanes from just south of 69th Street north to where we left off with the project we did a few years ago at 57th and Western. So it'll be 5 lanes all the way through on Western Avenue. That project will also include a widened bike path along Western Avenue. We've been doing that with the last couple projects. Underground utility work, and during construction both 69th Street and Western Avenue will be reduced to 1 lane in each direction. There will be about 2 weeks at the end of the summer or in the early part of the fall where Western Avenue will actually be closed south of 69th Street for a couple of weeks, but other than that it will remain open to traffic. That project is expected to begin construction late this spring or early in the summer. We'll get the major portion of the work done yet this year, but it will carry over into 2018 with some of the median paving, sidewalk work, and things like that. And finally, the last project I want to talk about is Arrowhead Parkway on the east side of town, another rapidly growing corridor. Traffic along Arrowhead Parkway between Sycamore Avenue and Highline Avenue is expected to more than double in the next 25 years. This project, we're partnering with the Department of Transportation. The pavement condition is pretty poor out there. It's reached the end of its useful life. So we'll be, of course, reconstructing. We'll be widening that also to 6 lanes with a median, with a left turn lane at select intersections. There'll be an off-site bike path, underground utility work along that corridor as well. That project will begin sometime this summer, and that will also be a project that extends into 2018 before we have final completion. So with that, I'll turn it over to Josh to talk about a few more projects.
Thanks, Brad. I've got 3 projects that I want to highlight for you today as well. The first project to talk about is Main Avenue Road Diet. I always like to talk about downtown and the improvements we're making there. This year we're going to be doing the second phase, continuing what the work we did last year from 8th Street to 11th Street. This year we're planning to perform construction on a segment from 6th Street to 8th Street, and then we also want to do a little work at the 12th Street intersection as well. Going to build on the improvements we did in the previous phase, similar type of improvements. We're going to be adding tree planters and other planters along there. We'll be extending the curb bump outs like we did before for pedestrian safety at the intersections. And also we'll do one mid-block as well for a mid-block pedestrian crossing. And also hopefully some opportunity for some seating for some businesses there as well. Similar type improvements as we've seen before, the trash receptacles and recycling receptacles. And finally, you know, we'll be taking that temporary striping that we installed a couple years ago for the diagonal parking, and we will be restriping that permanent, making that a permanent improvement. That is a project we hope to be bidding here in the next few months. It'll be a late summer, early fall project for us. Second project I would like to highlight is the next phase of Veterans Parkway on the northeast side of town. This project extends Veterans Parkway from where we left off at Maple Street, and we're going to carry it up to Rice Street. The project was actually bid last September and was awarded to TNR Contracting for $13.9 million. When it's completed, Veterans Parkway will look similar to the previous phases, with 2 lanes in each direction with the landscape median and the 10-foot bicycle path along the east side of the highway. Also, as part of this, we'll be reconstructing over a mile of Rice Street just to tie the Rice Street into the new Veterans Parkway. If you've been out along Rice Street, you've seen that grading has already started this fall along the south side of Rice Street. Kind of a fun fact about the project, just things that kind of give you a scope of how big the project is. We're moving over 1 million cubic yards of soil on that project, which to try and visualize, that turns out to be about a football field in area about 500 feet tall. So just the amount of soil they got to move during the construction season is going to keep them busy. Construction will resume this spring as soon as weather allows, and is expected to be completed here in November of this year. Finally, the last project I want to talk about is, I think, one that's really exciting for Sioux Falls. It's not shown up on a map yet, but it is one that bids this year, is the future phase of Veterans Parkway that's going to complete the stretch going north. It'll take it from Rice Street and tie us into Interstate 90. So we'll get that connectivity on Veterans Parkway onto I-90s to get that nice access on the east side of town. The plan is to bid that here in August this year, and that's going to be a huge project for us. A lot of grading work. There'll be some big structures there. We're going to be creating bridges over the existing railroads that are there, and also the Big Sioux River. The interchange at I-90 currently is Timberline, but it will be Veterans Parkway. That's going to be fully reconstructed as well. Construction for this is expected to start in 2018, and it'll be a 2-year job, so 2018 and 2019. And like I said, it's a big job. The current cost estimate is about $48 million. So a great project for us and really going to provide some access on that east side of town to help development and traffic. So with that, that's the last project for me. I'll turn it over to Wes Phillips to talk a little bit about our street maintenance program.
I'm here to highlight a few of our major maintenance projects now. You can see the map over here highlights all of our projects that we have going on this year. And also this can be found on our website and will be actively updated as things change throughout the summer. The first project I'm here to highlight is 49th Street overlay from Cliff to Southeastern Avenue. This project consists of repairs to the curb and gutter, sanitary sewer, water main, storm sewer, and street lights. ADA curb ramps will be updated, followed by an asphalt mill and overlay. The traffic will be maintained in both directions on 49th Street, however, it will be down to one lane in each direction during construction. We anticipate construction will start after June 5th and be fully complete within 40 working days and by the beginning of September. This project advertises for bids this Friday with a March 9th bid date, and the estimate is $900,000. The second project I'd like to highlight is Bonson Avenue, East 10th Street to East 26th Street. This project also consists of repairs to the curb and gutter, sanitary sewer, water main, storm sewer, traffic signals, and streetlights. ADA curbs will also be upgraded, and it will all be followed by an asphalt mill and overlay. Segments of Bonson will be closed during construction, but we will maintain local access for residents and businesses where we can. The anticipated start for this project is May 30th with full completion by September 1st. The project bids February 16th and our estimated construction cost is $1.2 million. The final project I'd like to highlight is the Minnesota Avenue concrete repair project. The project consists of fully reconstructing the intersection of 26th and Minnesota. In addition to that, we'll be making concrete joint repairs all the way from 18th Street to 33rd Street. So that will be a big project that impacts a lot of us this summer. This project has a lot of features to it, including repairs to the curb and gutter, sanitary sewer, water main, and storm sewer, street lights, and also traffic signals. We will be maintaining traffic in both directions on Minnesota Avenue during the project. However, it may get congested as there's a lot of traffic on Minnesota Avenue. We will be using the newly installed adaptive system to help try to move traffic through the project as well. The project is estimated to start in mid-May and will be complete in the fall. The estimated bid date for the project is mid-April, and the project cost is estimated to be $4 million. In addition to these major projects we've talked about, we'll be completing neighborhood overlays on approximately 200 blocks of neighborhood streets and surface treatment on over 400 blocks of streets. It's estimated we will touch over 40 miles of streets with various construction projects this summer. Now I'll turn it back to Chad for a few final comments.
Thank you. I guess Josh takes the cake for the highest dollar value. I didn't think we were going to mention that stuff, but he takes the cake with that. Just a couple things. During this stretch of warmer weather, Public Works is really focusing on potholes, and we're out in the streets a lot, but we can certainly use your help. So if you're out and about, you see a pothole, please report it. There's a couple different ways. You can call the pothole hotline at 367-8002, or you can also go to our website, www.siouxfalls.org/pothole, and report it that way. Again, they mentioned our website. This is a snapshot here, but if you got questions throughout the year, you can certainly go here to get updates on that. And in closing, I just want to thank everyone for your patience as you navigate the orange cones this construction season, and I hope you enjoy the improved roads.